Hey everybody, Hiker James 52 here. Let's go geocaching.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hiker James 52 here with you. For how long, I don't know. Tonight, I get kind of mixed up with scheduling and don't have anybody to talk with. So I have to talk to myself. I hope there's somebody out there watching that will at least send some comments or something, give me something to talk about. Yeah, I've done this before and it's not easy. Anyway, glad everybody could make it that is watching, whether you're watching live or watching it afterwards. You can always catch it afterwards if you don't make it live. Let's see. Um, I try to bring some events that's happening around, and the only thing I could find to let people know about this week, or not this week, but this week on the show, there's an event going on in Cisco, Texas. That's the closest one to me. That's over 1,000 miles. I'm not going to make it. They have a 19th annual challenge and geocaching festival, and in Cisco, Texas. They've already got over 150 travel bugs in that, where you can go and trade them, whatever you want to do with them. Um, this is a 5 day event, and well, it's 137 miles west of Dallas. And with the weather they're having in Dallas right now, I don't know even if they're going to have it when it's scheduled. But it's scheduled for um, March 13th. And like I say, it's a 5 day event. I uh, I do have a GC code. Let me put that GC code up there and get that taken care of. I didn't think about that before the show started. Let's see, what is that? Okay, there it is. Here's the GC 8W9P1. Okay, if anybody's interested in looking at it, if you're in that area or you're going to be in that area when that happens, it might be a little cool out, but for 5 days, you better take you a bottle of water or something. Take you a tent or something to sleep in. If anybody out there want to leave a comment or want to ask a question or want to say anything to me, just go ahead and put it in the comments. And if you're watching it from Facebook, I don't know how it works um, on YouTube, but I imagine about the same way. You just type in the comments, and if you're watching it on the screen right now, and you click on the screen again, it'll take you to a bigger screen with all the comments over on the right hand side. So before you can show your name, who you are, and everything, you need to go to um, and okay that. Go to this number or name right here, StreamYard.com/Facebook, and authorize them to use your name on the comments, your name and picture. But otherwise, I'll just get a comment from a Facebook user. I don't know how it works on YouTube either, because I've not been watching anything on there. I do put this on Facebook Live also at the same time I'm doing it on Facebook. So uh, I know I don't know, but I'm going to see if maybe I played this last week. I don't remember, but if I did, if you missed it, you'll see it. But if you did, and you're watching again, it's only about a minute and something long. It's one of my homemade geocaches that I did, And so for the next minute, minute and a half, whatever, we'll watch that, and then we'll get back with you.
Hey, Hiker James 52 here, and we got another geocache that we've made, and these are pretty simple. You can buy these at any hardware store, or Walmart or Home Depot, anywhere. It's just a outlet cover, and what we have to do here, then we're going to zoom in on this a little bit so you can see what it's about. We got this one attached to the side of our shed. You just take the cover off, and here is the cache, the log sheet. We have a magnet on both sides, and we cut the screws off so that they wouldn't be sticking out too far. But there that is, and just put it on there, make it straight. There you go, another homemade cache. Thanks for watching.
Okay, that was pretty popular. I don't know if it still is. I haven't found any of those for a long time, but used to. That was one of the first ones that my wife and I actually went out and looked for, that we were stumped. Um, that was down in Pickle, Ohio, and it was called Lock 9. I know she remembers that one. She always wants to talk about that one. We looked and looked everywhere. There was some them concrete picnic tables there at the Loch 9. It was kind of like overlooks the river, and they had a whole wall full of history about Piqua, or the right pronunciation is Pequot, and everybody started just calling it Piqua. And so this cache didn't have any kind of hint to it, and we got to the coordinates, and there's people around there a lot, kids, a lot of high school kids and college kids go there to study in the summertime because it's a nice place, shade, and so we're looking everywhere for it. And I'm looking all over this picnic table, up and down, under it, everywhere, and we couldn't find it, so we left. A couple of days later, we went back and we looked and looked. We even stretched our search out 10 more feet, radius there. And we looked and looked and looked and couldn't find it nowhere. So we gave up. Third time, what was it? 6 times? I think it was. We finally found it. And it aggravated me because I looked at it a couple times and never thought nothing of it. Well, an outlet cover on the bottom side of the picnic table, it was up underneath here. Concrete, the brackets was metal, and they had that thing connected to the metal, it's on magnets. And I looked at that thing a couple of times and never thought 1 second that would be, why would that be there, and I get a big kick out of that now. But yeah, them are good. They're nice to have. You can put them just about anywhere. Light skirt, on not light skirt, but on the lights. You can put them anywhere. Put it on the side of a refrigerator if you want to, or on the side of an ice machine at a gas station, side of a Pepsi or a Coke machine at a gas station. They go anywhere. So that will be a good one to make. It was real easy to make. Like I said, there you just take two of those little they're kind of like oblong magnets, and I use the epoxy, just regular epoxy that you got the tube with the two together, and you just when you squeeze it out, you squeeze them both the same amount, and then you stir it up real good and put you a little bit on that magnet and set the magnet on there, and you're good to go. By the time it takes a few hours for it to dry, but it is real easy to make. And then you just take your little pill bag, you know, the little Ziploc pill bag, and put your uh, paper in there, and off you go. So now I took the screws that came with it. I think they came with it. If not, I bought them to fit it. But you just take your two screws and put it in there, and you epoxy the backside of it, and then I snipped it off to where it wasn't sharp, you know, pointed like screw, where when I set it up on the wall, it would fit. If you left the screw out like it is, it would touch the wall and the magnet wouldn't connect to it. But yeah, that was a real bummer. Yeah, that was real bummer there that I looked at that thing twice at least that I know of. Of course, that was when we first started geocaching. Now, we've both been geocaching since 2011. It was 9, 10, 11, to be exact. September 11th. Yeah. And since then, we've found so many different kinds of geocaches that some of them didn't even look like a cache at all. You know, we found sticks this long, like a tree branch, and the tree branch be about this long and about that big around, and just laying by a tree. Well, what they'd done, they took that stick and they drilled out a hole in the end of it, you know, like that, and put the micro or whatever size they wanted to put in there, micro or bison tube, and they would drop that in the hole. Now they would take like a poker chip and drill a hole in it, kind of like on the edge here. Get my hand there right, like on the edge of that poker chip, and they'd put a screw in that to where this hole would slide over the cache hole. Okay, so that was pretty nice. I don't have a video or pictures of that, but that was pretty popular. And the tree stumps. Oh man, I don't know how many tree stumps we found that had caches in the bottom of them, and it was a lot of fun. Now this was out in Florida and Ohio. When we cached in Florida 3 years, and we moved to Florida and we cached down there for 5 years. Now we're back up in Ohio. We stopped off for 7 months in Greenville, Ohio, and I think we got every cache that is in that town and outside that town. Wow. Um, my advice is don't move just to go get a geocache in another town. Just go to that other town and get them. Yeah, we did have fun. Let's see. Oh, before I forget, I have another podcast started, another live show on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern New York time. Now there's no difference in the Eastern time and New York time, except some people don't know what Eastern time is, but they know where New York is, so they can figure it out. You know how figure out the difference. But anyway, it's called weekend Weekend Coffee with Hiker James, and it's going to be on Facebook on my page called Weekend Coffee Talk. So if you want to join in on that one on Sunday morning, it's going to be kind of like whatever talk. But I mean, if you're a geocacher and you want to get on there and talk about your geocaches, that's fine. If you want to talk about your new motorcycle you got for Christmas and can't ride it yet, that's fine. So, anyways, Facebook.com/Weekend Coffee Talk. That'll get you on there. You can follow it. You can, when it comes out on, I put it out today for tomorrow. No, I put it out Wednesday, I believe. Anyway, I put a reminder out today that it's going to be there tomorrow. Um, you can get a reminder on that one or on this one. If you're watching this one, you've probably seen where we was going to be on, and you can click on remind, and it will come up. I think it's 20 minutes before it starts. It'll remind you that it's going to be on. So anyway, well, what do we do for tomorrow? I just make me a pot of coffee, sit back, drink it. Last week we talked about coffee, but this week is whatever. Just wanted to let everybody know why I started that show, and it's whatever you want to talk about. If you just want to sit there and be grumpy, that's fine. And I'll sit there and be grumpy. I'll sit there and stare you right back. But I'm up and I'm drinking coffee, and I thought, well, why not? Why not go live with this? Somebody might make a comment or two, whether they like me or not, and get to learn people a little bit better that way. If you start talking about things that's going on in other people's lives. Well, we have been. I think this is the first day out of 7 that it didn't snow up here in northeast Ohio. We ended up with 13 inches, and it got up to 21 degrees today. I finally got my car out of the driveway. I've been having it to go to the store, maybe about once a week or so, twice a week. And I was having a hard time getting out of the driveway. So today I thought, well, it's warm out now. It's 21 degrees. I'm going to go outside and try to make me a path, like back and forth, back in and out the driveway, so kind of beat it down a little bit. It was kind of lumpy and bumpy, from me just tearing it up trying to get in and out. So I did, got my coat on, my gloves. We got out there and I cleaned the windows off, and it was kind of fun, because I still kind of bogged down and run over some humps and bumps, but I pulled in and out of the driveway about 6 times and finally got it smooth. Did you ever back into or pull into a place, and the next time you pull in, you slip out of the track and you're making new ruts? Well, that's what was going on here. I was going out and making a new rut. Well, so now whenever you back in or pull in or back out, you don't know which rut that car is going to take. It go wherever it wants to when it's slipping and sliding. And so I didn't want that to happen. So that's why I did that as easy as I could without really losing traction. So that way it wouldn't pack it down into little lumps and bumps again. So anyway, that was my daily chore for today. Yeah. Good old doctor. Yeah. It's not the one that you're thinking of. It's the other one. There it is. You probably heard of that one. Diet. We ran out of regular a while ago. Can give me a diet. Anyway, okay. So yeah. I, I don't think I've got. I have one more video I can show, and this was the first video I ever made, and that's been a while back. But here's my video. There it is. Now this one, you might not be able to tell watching the video for a little bit, but I took a tape measure, and the end of a tape measure, got that little piece that hangs down, you pull out with, the tape measure, and then it's got, some of them got a little hole in there, and that is for to hook it on a nail. If you're going to pull it out from a long distance, you don't want it to, slide all over the place. So I took this tape measure and I camouflaged it with the camo tape, and I connected a piece of coat hanger, probably about that big, and connected it to the end of the tape measure, and then connected that to the little ring on a bison tube. Then, when I was duct taping that, I duct taped another piece of wire about this long and made a little hook on it. Yeah, that's how I did it. No, it wasn't a hook. I wrapped it around the tree. But anyway, I put it up in a tree far enough where you couldn't get to it. Now, there was a catch to that. I had a stick, just a regular tree limb that I had found out there, and I took another piece of coat hanger. One coat hanger would do the whole job here. Not like I'm wasting coat hangers, but I put a hook like on the end of that stick and put a couple screws in it to hold that hook on there. And so the first thing you had to do is find a tool to get it. And you'll see me with the tool. And it was fun. I mean, and it's still there. I mean, I put this out in 2011. I think it was, maybe 2012. But anyway, it's still there, and people are still finding it. I don't have the GC code number on it, though, but it'd take me a while to look it up. But anyway, I'll play that little video there, and you can see an idea of what it is and how it works there.
Start your video. Okay, Hiker James here. Got a new geocache up here in this tree. What we got to do is find this stick. Just a little loop on the end of it, like this right here. And we try to hook that thing. And we hook it. Down comes the tape measure. So then we got our nano bison tube, whatever you want to call it, with the cache inside. Slide your log, put it back, and there we go, back up the tree. There you got it.
That was fun. My boy climbed that tree to put it up there. I don't know how he did it, because there wasn't really any limbs on that tree at all. And I'd say that tape measure came down 15 feet, maybe something like that. It was, I think, a 25-foot tape measure, and I was hoping that where he put it, it would be long enough to pull it down and get everything done with it. But I thought that was kind of nice, that tape measure. I had several of them. I think I had like about 14 geocaches hidden. And when we moved to Florida, I gave them to a friend of mine, let him take care of them. And he's doing real good. There's only one that I can see that's still, and that's not archived, but it's out. There's something wrong, missing. I think it was missing. And if you remember last week, I think it was, I showed the video of the bolt in a pole in a wooden uh, post. Well, this is the same thing where I did with this one. Now, the funny thing about it was when I made that one, it was in a gate entrance. And there was all kind of holes in there and all kind of bolts in there where they had a gate across there. And I don't think the gate's there no more, but it used to be. And I was going to put that on that post. And when I got there, I was looking for a hole that maybe it might fit. And sure enough, I found the hole. There was something in it. And I went to digging and see what it was, and it was an old cache. Somebody else had put an old one in there. You couldn't even read the log sheet. It was just a mess. But it was in a piece of some kind of a plastic tube, and it had been there I don't know how long, and I took it out and I put mine in there, and I went back home and looked it up, make sure that I didn't take somebody else's, because it it had to be archived, or somebody just didn't go back and get it, and they archived it. But anyway, I got that spot now, and then I gave that to him, and I guess it's missing now, and it'd be easy. They're easy to make. And a lot of times you can even change the design of however the cache was if one's missing. Uh, One of them I had, it was called Light My Fire, I believe it was. Well, I was kind of handy with um, these Bic lighters. I would take these Bic lighters and after they was empty, and I mean, you really got to be careful with it, but I took it apart to where the bottom of it was hollow, you know. And then I got one of them, just a cheap Bic lighter cases that slips down in there. Uh, they wasn't really cheap for, but they was decent price for putting them out for a geocache. And I would put the cache in a little pill baggie and stick it up in the bottom of that Bic lighter, and then slide it back down into that case, and then put it in any kind of container, whatever you want. I usually camouflage small cans or something. And they said it was missing. Somebody said they couldn't find it, so they put another one out there, a replacement, some kind of a cache replacement. And okay, so I went and got another one made. I went out there and I'm looking for it. Well, what I've done, I found the one that they had replaced it with. And before I left, I found the original one. And so there was three of them there. So I took them all, left the one that was the original. I left it there, and then I could use the other two for something else. Put them in some other place. But you don't want to use any kind of food containers. They say if you wash them in bleach water that it'll take care of it, but no, no. I had a M&M. Oh, it was a box or a tube of M&Ms about this long, about that big around, had a cap on it and everything, little pop-up cap. And I washed it out real good. I bleached it and everything. And that was the name of it, M&M's. And I got it twist tie, plastic twist tie, or zip, what do you call them? Zip tie, yeah. a zip tie, and I connected that to a tree bench. And it stayed out there for a little while. And finally, somebody says it's missing. I said, okay. So I went out there to look at it and see what I had to do. And it wasn't in the tree. And there happened to be an old log or a rock. I can't remember now. Like I said, that's been 9 years ago, 10. But anyway, I stumbled across it looking on the ground for it. And it was like up underneath that log or whatever. And I don't know if somebody moved it there thinking that that would be a better place, or if it just came out of the tree and ended up there. But it was all chewed up. I don't know if it was the squirrels or if it was raccoons or what. And that might have been why it's not in the tree. They got up there and they chewed holes in it trying to get to the chocolate. It was still had the odor of chocolate in it. So don't use anything. I don't know. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. Any kind of food container. But anyway, that's some of that stuff is like a hit and miss. I had another one called Fuji. Well, if you remember, if you're old enough to remember the rolls of film, Fuji film, put in your camera. I always came in a little tube, black tube with I think it was a great cap on it, and them were good. They was watertight and everything. And I had one of them. But what I did, this because I didn't have a camera for it, but I had an extra roll of film, and I pulled that film out, and I glued a strip of paper down where the film is. I glued it all, I don't know, 2 feet maybe of that film. And it was a regular paper, where you had lines on it. And that was the log. And then what you do, you just pull it down out of that um, paper. You pull it out until you get to an empty line, sign your name on it, and then you turn the little knob on the side where the camera would, when you turn the knob on the camera, it turns that roll of film in and out. You just roll it back up in there, put it back in the tube, and there you are. So there's all kinds of things. I mean, I sit around and think this stuff up, and I think some of it's leaked out over YouTube because I'm starting to see caches that's made in the same order as the ones that I've had. Oh, yeah, geocaching, it is fun. If you're watching this and you don't know what geocaching is, you can go to geocaching.com, and there's the website for geocaching.com. And if you want to learn more about it, what it is, any questions you have about it, go ahead and put a /guide at the end of that. geocaching.com/guide. And that will answer 99% of the questions you have about geocaching. I mean, anything. It's got everything in there that you need to know about it. And they've got 2 different sign-ups. They got a free sign-up and they've got a premium sign-up. The free sign-ups, like everything else, you don't get quite as much or quite as good of a deal on your maps. They have premium caches only, and where you can't find a premium cache only if somebody was to put one out under that. But check it out and try it free. It's free. You can download a free app on your phone, geocaching app, and try it out. If you like it, if you want more out of it, go premium. which is I think $29 a year. And now they have where you can pay for it every 3 months. It comes out to about $7.14 a month is what it is, but you pay for it every 3 months. 20 Almost $22. No, $10. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm thinking that it's double because me and my wife. Yeah, it's only like $10.80 every 3 months. That way, I mean, you pay for it. If you don't like it, just take off the auto pay and use it until it runs out. Go back to the free or go back to playing checkers or something, whatever trips your boat. Okay, uh, that is that. If you want to find my pages and stuff, I have this Aftercash. If you hit pound Aftercash 2020 on search on your Google search, that will take you to a few of my pages, which is all the same page. But I'm saying that will get you to my Aftercash 2020 page. You can go to mypodcastradio.com also. You've probably seen that somewhere, but I don't know. It's I'll put it on here. And I didn't do it right. Okay. There we go. mypodcastradio.com. And you've probably seen that on my advertisements and stuff on Facebook. But off of that page, you can find either one of my two episodes that I'm doing, either geocaching or weekend coffee. And I think I'm going to very well get out of here and call it a day or a week. And I don't see any comments going on. But I have seen a lot of people have been watching this, and it's after it's archived. You can always watch it. When it says this show has ended, you can go down there and click on watch, and it'll show it to you. So that's where I'm getting a lot of my people are watching it from different time than being live. I'd like to have somebody on live send me some comments and stuff, ask questions, give me something a little bit more to talk about. I don't get into the technical stuff of geocaching because I just go out and geocache. All this fancy terms and stuff, um, I've just not got the right smart and brain smart to like 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 uh, like the puzzle caches. I can't. I've solved one puzzle cache in the 9 years I've been geocaching. I just gave it up. It was just, it was totally a wreck. I had a few that I had taken over from another person called P.O. Box Cache. And if anybody's heard of that, you go into a post office and you got this whole walls full of post office boxes, right? And they all got the address on it. And I've had these that they were in a post office that's you can get into that part 24/7. And the puzzle was three down, four across times two for one of the missing numbers. So you go, 3 down over 2, and the number might be 12 times 2 is 24. So 2, 4 would be the first set of your coordinates that was missing to find the right coordinates. That was fun. Nobody's going to be in there, especially on the weekend or after 5 o'clock, whenever they close. There's not that many people, if there's any at all, that are going to be in that post office area. And so you can go in there and just take your time and figure out the GC numbers, and off you go. So anyway, I still have fun. We just haven't been caching since winter. We did do some caches up here. When we first moved up here, I think it was in June, and we did quite a few of them here in Mansfield. But we're not going anywhere, I guarantee you, until summer. Until that temperature gets up to at least 55, 60 degrees. Getting too old for stomping through the snow on that stuff. I did do some snow caching. I'll tell you, there was a parking lot, a little shopping mall, had a parking lot, and this one was a skirt lifter. It's on the light pole, and wouldn't you know it? When it snows a lot and the snow plows goes in there, the trucks that clean the parking lot off for these people, they'll pile all the snow up in one area. Well, they happened to pile all the snow up all around the lamppost that this geocache was at. And I tell you, you want to be stealth about geocaching, right? But I'm glad I didn't have to explain to anybody why I was digging away into that lamppost, because I knew it was there. As soon as I seen that post and the coordinates on it, I knew it was a skirt lifter. And the snow was up as high as a skirt on that pole. And I started digging and, working my way into there. But I got the cache, and I sure did. I wasn't going to go home without it, because I was right on top of it, except for all that snow that they piled up there while they was cleaning off the parking lot. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here, and hope to see somebody tomorrow morning on our weekend coffee talk. Weekend coffee talk with Hiker James. And that is, where is that? Oh, I don't know if I didn't have it put up there. Facebook.com/ Weekend Coffee Talk. There you go. I was on the wrong thing here. But, you get time, join us, and we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you here next week, same time, same place, or whenever you're watching it. And until then, this is Hiker James 52, and keep on caching.